Okay, so we're gonna do a tutorial on how my druid heals my team here. Let me quick review what my team is. You'll notice I have 5 guys. This is a shaman. My B guy is a shaman. My C guy is a shaman. My D guy is a shaman, and my E guy is a druid. Mr. E is a resto druid versus all my other guys are elemental shamans. Now, when I'm doing a battleground, the main thing I care about, or if I'm tanking, because I do instances, I do LFD, and this is effectively my tank, even though he's not a tank and he's elemental. But whether it's a battleground or whether I'm doing an instance, the most important person in my group, for now, is going to be my lead guy, my A guy. Now, if my A guy died, I could definitely have macros and things set up so any of my guys could control the group. But for now, when I do like an instance and when I do battlegrounds, it's pretty easy to keep my lead guy alive. So my E guy, who's my healer, his main job is to keep my A guy alive, right? And secondary to that, his main job is to keep, let's leave this cube. His main job is to keep my other guys alive, right? So the A guy is the most important, and then secondary to that is the health of my other guys. So with that in regards, let's switch over to my healer. So here's my healer, right? You'll notice his bars have a variety of macros. If we take a look at his macro interface, you'll see he's got a couple macros for each individual guy, but he doesn't really use those. He uses, I think, 3 main macros to heal, and that's what we're going to cover. But before we cover those 3 main macros, I want to show you how I have him actually heal. I think that's the best part about this team. So here's my A guy. Let's say I'm in an instance, and let's say this is a boss or whatever, the target dummy right here. My A guy does primarily lightning bolt, chain lightning. Lightning bolt is 3, chain lightning is 4. Earth Shock for my fulminates, and then a macro, which is a cast sequence for Flame Shock and Lava Burst. And it's a cast sequence that has Flame Shock and then Lava Burst. So I'm basically hitting 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm basically rolling my face over 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, just to show you guys, I'm gonna hit the 3 button like a whole bunch of times. Watch what happens when I hit the 3 button. You notice all my shamans cast lightning bolts, but take a look at what my druid is doing. The guy here, E, take a look at what he's doing. Notice that he's healing my A guy. Notice that I have Living Seed, Cenarian Ward. I'll have like Rejuvenates. There's now, whatever this thing is called again, I forgot, but we'll show you in a moment. We've got Rejuvenate. We should have our, and I've been playing around with it a lot lately, but pretty much you'll see a bunch of heal spells hitting my A druid here. Life blooms and so on, right? So you'll notice that my druid is just going nuts with healing while my guys are DPSing. Let me just toss my fulminate out here because fulminates do a crap load of damage. And then if I stop, my druid stops. So what I'm doing, if you look at my guy, if you look at the 3 key right here, 3 on my shamans is lightning bolt. If you look at like my C shaman, 3 is my lightning bolt macro. But take a look at my druid now. See my druid? Now take a look at Pwnboxer. The key is a round robin configuration that I have in my Pwnboxer setup. We're just going to cover the 3 key. If I go to the configure keys in round robin and look at 3, basically when I hit 3, it starts a sequence of round robins, meaning that if I press the 3 key 3 times, 3 key, the first time is going to do something. If I press the 3 key again, it's going to do something. If I press the 3 key a 3rd time, it's going to do something. Okay? So you notice there's called rounds. There's 4 different rounds. The first time I press the 3 key, what happens is all my shamans, game number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they all hit the 3 key, which is lightning bolt. But my druid doesn't hit the 3 key at all. My Druid, the first time I hit the 3 key, it does Control 8. Control plus 8. The second time I hit the 3 key, it does Shift equal. The third time I hit it, it does Control 7. Control plus 7. And then the fourth time I hit it, it does Control 7 again. So it does this twice. All right, Control 8, Shift equal, and Control 7 twice in a row. So again, whenever I hit the 3 key, on my main guy, all of them will lightning bolt, except my Druid will do Control 8 and then Shift equal and then Control 7 and then Control 7 and then go back to Control 8. So let's take a look at what my Druid is doing for those 3 keys. Let's just put this on the side here. Control 8. Control 8 is this one. What is Control 8? There we go. You can kind of see it highlight there. So here's Control 8. It's called Focus Target Heal. Let's take a look at Control 7. Okay, Control 8 is right here. Control 7, Control 8. And then Shift equals right here. Okay, so let's undo that. So the first thing it does is it does this. It does this macro here, which is called Rejuve A. So the first time I hit it, it does Control 8. Control 8 targets my A guy. It targets Focus, which is my A guy. It casts Rejuvenation, Regrowth, and Life Bloom. So the first time I hit it, and it does Reset equal 8. We're actually going to make a little change here. We want this to be, we're going to make it Reset equal 10. So the first time I hit the button, it says heal my A guy. The second time I hit the button, it says it does Shift equal, which is this right here, which is that. And this is a macro that does Swift Men, Cenarian Ward, Force of Nature, Typhoon, blah, 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 blah. The second time it does Control 7, which is Focus Target Heal. So this is called Focus Target Heal. Focus Target Heal. Which we're going to do this. Target Focus. We're going to make a little change here. Focus Target Heal. We're going to just put the target focus in here. So essentially it's going to target my focus target's target. And the way that works, let's say this guy right here, let's say my B guy was the enemy, okay? Let's say my B guy is the enemy. And let's say the enemy is targeting one of my other, let's say one of my other shamans got aggro for some reason. So let's say if the B guy's the boss and now he's DPSing on E. Well, I'm going to want to heal E somehow, which is actually my healer. Let's say he's doing D. So let's say the boss, let's pretend this dude's the boss. Let's say I'm DPSing my E druid. What this macro does, target, focus, target, target. That means my A guy is DPSing the boss. The boss is DPSing D. However, the macro, focus, target, target, watch what happens. How about I set it correctly? Hold on. A is targeting the wrong guy. There we go. So my guy who's my tank is targeting B, and B is the boss, or whoever. B is targeting D. Now let's take a look at this macro. So notice how my healer now is casting heals on my D guy. So my healer could have anybody target. He could have the boss targeted or whatever. And look who he's healing. He's healing my D guy. So he's spamming heals on my D guy. So let's say I'm in a battleground and I'm fighting, and let's say my A guy is fighting some dude, or I'm fighting a boss, and my E guy will heal whoever the target of my A guy is targeting. Now, what's really nice is, let's say, as things normally go when you're multi-boxing, and people will normally attack your lead guy, right? So let's say B, again, is the enemy, and I'm attacking A, or let's say B is a boss, and I'm attacking A, whatever. And my druid is now going to cycle between Control 8, Shift equal, and Control 7. So my druid is going to, first of all, going to target A to heal him. Second of all, he's going to do Swift Mend. And then the third thing is going to do is Control 7, which is going to heal my A guy anyway, because I'm healing the focus target. So if everybody's attacking my A, then both these macros will only heal my A guy. However, if somebody is attacking somebody other than my A, then one of my macros will heal my A guy, which is nice for him to always have hot heals, but my second macro will target whoever's taking damage. Alright, so that's how I can have my druid not be controlled by me manually, and all I have to do is roll my face over my DPS keys, and my druid will happily heal my A guy for half the heals. Roughly half the heals will go to my A guy, and the other half of the heals will go to whoever my target has targeted, which often enough is going to be the A guy anyway. So, and then, just for jollies, my druid has the ability to do Swift Mend, Snarian Ward, Force in Nature, Typhoon. The Innervate doesn't quite work all the time. And so my druid will do a whole bunch of other things other than just Swift Mend. So let's roll our face over the 3 key, and let's watch what my druid does for heals. My target isn't attacking anybody, so my druid is going to be casting most of these spells on himself. So it's kind of a bad example. If the training dummy had me targeted, then all these spells that you'd see the E guy doing would be doing on me. But we're just going to spam a whole bunch of keys, and notice that the druid just did his Typhoon. Notice that the druid now did his Force of Nature, and the druid is just going to be spamming everything that he can. Force of Nature is pretty badass. I love it. And so you'll see how it's really hard to die. My healer heals everything exceptionally well. He blows through all of his cooldowns really well, and I love it. And so far, this has proven to be a way where we can heal without controlling my healer. Every instance we've done has worked out exceptionally well, and all of our battlegrounds work out really well. So that's how I heal, with my healer being he's not main controlled by my guy. It's just a set of unique macros, and then a set of cast sequences within Pwnboxer, or round robins. Let me just show you the other round robin I have. I have a round robin for my 4 key, which is basically the exact same thing. So instead of casting Lightning Bolt, I can do Chain Lightning. And my guys actually drop their capacitor totems when I Chain Lightning. And then my druid does his heals. So it's kind of nice. And then I also have a cast sequence for doing grounding totems. And you can see the cast sequence for grounding totems. Let's go over here. Let's get out of the way of everybody. You can see right here. One grounding totem, another grounding totem, another grounding totem, and another grounding totem. Or tremor totems. Wow, I meant to say tremor totem, not grounding totem. Those are the cast sequences that I have, and they work exceptionally well.